CEO, you have to be crushed, expended, yet open. The man or woman at the top has the crown that lays the heaviest. It's a game of chess, only all the pieces are alive and want to move their own way. I can't complain about not having a paycheck when I secure the bag. I grind because my children can't. I strive because people need my struggle, so it becomes their liberty. I want to give up, but I can't when I remember the future, a future without my contribution. I am an investment divinely deposited, so I must bring ROI. I grow so my world grows. I acquire so I can give. And if giving is living, I am totally alive. I am CEO, concerned, empathetic, and optimal. I'm building a tribe of those who align with the basic concept, whose souls use pain and convert it into its financial equivalent, who train not in the school of thought of mere men, but whose minds are furnished and refined in the school of life under headmaster experience. I am CEO, creative, expressive, and optimistic. And if this describes you, then you are CEO. Now click. Hello everyone, and we are live again, and thank you for bearing with us patiently. We wanted to make sure that this was excellent and not shabbily done, so big appreciation to all of you who were patient enough and who decided to jump back on. I hope that you can hear me. I can't quite see myself just yet, but I am hoping that the screen will show up. There we go. Thank you. I hope you can hear me. That's an interesting title, Young Entrepreneur, because that's not the title of today, but we move. Guys, welcome again to this session. Today I'm going to be discussing with you all a topic that is near and dear to my heart. And it is how we process pain and how we handle pain. I'm grateful to all of you for being here. Please do let me know where you are watching from as well. Let me know where you're watching from as well. And if you would be so kind to click the like button on this video, and also share. If you've got social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you've got, you can just take a picture of the screen. I'll smile real nice to you. If you just take a picture of the screen and share it. This is just my little baby wealthnation.tv account that we are trying to grow to be the home of CEOs, and I hope that you guys engage in the journey with us. Calling from Nigeria, what's up Wamimo from Nigeria. Alexandria, good to see you on here. Tobi Tile, great name by the way, Toby. Birmingham, welcome from Birmingham. JJ says it's buffering. I think that's just for you. You might want to just refresh your internet. Zambia, that's amazing. Birmingham, we have Birmingham on the call. Again, Rushden in Northamptonshire. I thought I said Russia at first. Portsmouth, how you doing? Chicago, how are you? Did I see you when I was in Chicago, by the way? Did we meet in Chicago? Because I was in Chicago, was it end of last year, middle of last year? Did we meet when I was there? I'm not sure. West London, Wirral, Sunderland, good to see you all. Reading, Nigeria. I'm a bit biased there. Nathan calling from Kent, Hibberton, and Devon. Welcome to every single one of you on this call. I am hoping, guys, help me if you're in Wealth Nation to talk to our guys in the group, in the Lid group, in Fearless group. Just share the link in there and tell them to join us. Woolwich, I used to live in Woolwich, Arsenal. That's where I came up in business from. I want to talk to you today about a topic from Germany. Welcome. I want to talk to you about a topic that is dear to my heart, and it's essentially the part of the reason I wanted to speak to you about this. I call it pain in business, dealing with pain in business, and how we handle, how we manage areas of pain as we progress in the world of business is going to be so important to us. How we navigate the journey is essential, and how we manage stress, anxiety, fear, the things that come to assail us in the journey of business. Now, for some reason, the chat is disabled. It just went. But I'm going to get on with it. Whether the chat is there or not, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to get on with it. There are forces conspiring against this live today that I will not allow to get me down. We will build beyond this. So, guys, I want to talk about the pain that we experience in business. And part of the reason that I guess I brought up this topic, quarantine's been difficult. It's been hard, and beginning of quarantine, I kind of sensed that this was going to be a real wilderness for a lot of people, that it was going to be, and I'm hoping we can get the chat back active, man, because I do love to see you guys talk and chat. Apparently the chat is back. I don't see it, but I'm going to refresh my page and hope it's back. There we go, it's back. Okay. Welcome back, guys. I don't know what's going on. It's definitely going to be a hot CEO club if all these things are happening at once. But essentially, quarantine time has been extremely difficult, and part of, I guess, the difficulty of this period we've been in quarantine is it's forced us not just to essentially face our problems, but it's forced us to face what I believe our problems are there to fundamentally force us to face. And I know, guys, I'm in front of the camera and I'm also behind the camera, and I'm just going to make sure that something's happening behind the camera. Are we recording to the camera as well? We've hit that record button because I don't see a red light. But essentially, we want to know that we are navigating pain very well, and stress well, and how we journey well. And I think what we do oftentimes when we're in the places of pain, we can often use pain as an excuse or a reason to backtrack on the deal that we made with ourselves to succeed, the deal we made with ourselves to thrive, or the deal we made with ourselves to prosper. We can use pain, and we can use pain to say it was not meant to be. I wasn't meant to succeed. But this time of quarantine has been a serious wilderness period for a lot of people. And I guess, in my estimation, the greatest thing this quarantine period has caused me to come to terms with and face is myself. And honestly, I've realized that there is no scarier demon on the planet. There is no scarier or darker force on the planet. There is nothing in this world that we are more afraid of facing than ourselves. And what this period of quarantine has come to make us face more than anything. And guys, please do give me feedback if you think any other. I'd love to hear your comments as I'm going through. But what it's taught us, and also please do send your questions ahead and we will also answer those, but it's caused us really to come to terms with some deep areas of just pain that's been going on the inside of many of us, and to cause us to face self. And I've been in this place where honestly it feels as though life has been conspiring to strip me of comfort, of connection, of some kind of outlets. And I think there's a pain that comes when you're a follower of the crowd. There's a pain that everybody goes through. But then there's a completely different type of pain that comes into the life of someone who's a leader, because the leaders rarely have people to talk to, rarely, and leaders, and part of it is, I kind of see this in our online culture today, we love, more than building people up, we love to tear them down. We do love a good tear down fest. I do remember a time in my own life, a few times in my own life, where my name has been dragged online because people did not understand me or understand what I was saying. And I noticed in those periods, we do love everyone. And there was a real hyenic bloodthirst in the moment. It felt like my carcass was being dragged online and different people were coming for a good bite out of it and a good shred and tear and run away. We do love to tear down. And I think sometimes this is the reason why some people don't even bother trying to lead, because the higher you are, the harder the fall. And there are so many eyes just waiting desperately for you to just fail. I see it, and this is not to be mean, but I see it even in business. When somebody in business maybe posts something that's successful or shares a story, I suddenly get loads of direct messages to question, to ask, why did this happen, or to ask, is this a real thing that's happened in this person's life? And we should I wish our first instinct as human beings was to celebrate other people when they succeed. I wish our first instinct as human beings was to be joyful for people when they're coming up. But then you've got this dynamic of pain that can come on many different fronts. And actually, I found out our problems can be singular, but they can touch so many things in our own lives. They can touch family, they can touch children, they can touch some things. I could lose a trade. Listen, I'm a trader, and I could lose a trade, and suddenly it means I'm a bad person. Suddenly it means I'm a bad husband. Suddenly it means I'm a bad father. It can touch so many things. If we're not careful about how we manage pain, we extrapolate it to all these other areas of our life. And if we're not careful, we marry disappointment. We engage with disappointment, and then we do the cruelest thing that human beings do on the planet. They stop contributing. They stop giving. And the nature of human beings, somebody said we are most like God when we're giving. The nature of the human spirit is giving. And I'm finding now more than ever, people are just so into them. And so into what they feel they haven't done or have done. The nature of humanity is to be a giver. We should always be kind. Don't know what people are going through. Absolutely. This is the thing. And I feel as if we've lost this sense of compassion. I also feel, and I'm just diagnosing an issue before I present some solutions. I also feel as human beings, we've lost compassion. I feel we've lost depth. I feel we've lost this thing where my yes meant yes. When I said yes, and I said, this is my why. And I said, I'm connecting. And I said, I'm going to get you where you need to be. When I said that, I meant it. I also think we've lost this sense of doing things selflessly. We've kind of taken ourselves back into ourselves and said, well, if I'm not going to get anything, I'm not going to give. A long time ago, I learned a principle from a great mentor of mine. And he said these words. He said, Tobi, in life, you reap what you sow, but don't be shallow enough to always believe you're going to reap where you sowed it. I want to say that again. In life, you reap what you sow, but don't be shallow enough to think or believe that you're going to get it everywhere you sow it. Don't be that shallow. And that's helped me in life to be selfless, to understand that it's my job not to wonder whether this person is going to give back to me or how much. And I guess this is coming to the shallowness of life, where we kind of only appreciate people who can get us somewhere, or we kind of only work with the people who can help us, and we bypass the cleaner at the door. We bypass the person who's in pain. I remember just driving and seeing somebody crying on the side of the road, and we just had to pull over and find out, well, what's going on? This person couldn't help us. This person couldn't give anything back to us. But that's the nature of humanity. And I'm talking like this in CEO Club because CEOs, listen, the moment you stop giving, you're not a CEO. The moment you stop contributing, you're not a CEO. The moment you stop serving, you're not a CEO. And we serve with more than just business. We serve with our smile. We serve with positivity. We serve with our energy. We serve with what we bring to the table every single day. But life has worked to make us all, in a way, introverted and implosive and so darn negative. I just haven't heard so much negativity in my life than I've heard in the last week. So I want to talk about this necessary thing, mental health and pain, and what we do with it that's going to advance us. Because let me tell you what I want. I so badly want you to rip your shirt open and reveal your S. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want you to awaken. I want the power that's on the inside of you. I hope you hear the way I'm talking, because I've been angry for a long time. I was in Dubai thinking more people should be at the top. It shouldn't be lonely at the top. But the path is treacherous, guys. It is difficult to the top. And I'm not going to mix words here. The path to where you want to get to is hard. It's hard. It's not, listen, the job life is easy. I remember sitting down in business one day and saying, man, this was a horrible statement. I said, then I had to kick myself for saying it. I said, I wouldn't wish business on my enemies. That was a terrible statement that I made when I said that, because the business is an uphill journey, and you cannot be in an uphill journey with a downhill mentality. So I'm going to give you 10 things. I'm going to give you 10 things that I've learned about doing business and the pain that you can experience, thank you, in business, because so many people have so many start-stops in the journey of business. And I would like you to commit. I would really like you to finish what you've started, instead of being a start-stop person, to finish what you started. So I'm going to go through them. I think I'm going to go through them in the least order of importance, work my way to the most important order. And I hope those of you in Wealth Nation are listening. I hope you stir up the groups one more time. I hope you guys like this video. There's 80 something of you watching, 28 likes on here. And I hope that there are no haters on here. I hope we can keep this space positive. But the first thing I guess I want to share with you in the journey of success, in the journey of winning, and you all, this W in wealth that you see on this channel is winners. This W stands for serial winners. You are here to win. And I'm going to say that over you till you believe it. You are here to win. And you have no right to fail. None of you watching me has a right to fail. The choice to come on this, I hope you got your pens and papers ready, but I hope you're not just going to take notes. I hope you're about to take action. I had a little B-rate at my leadership team, because we got a leadership team called The Lid. Had a little go at them because I can't believe we're the lid. I've taught you on modeling, and we're not at the forefront of every major thing that happens. Leaders do not lead from the back, they lead from the front. Leaders always lead from the front. And if you're the leader who's just kind of hoping to push other people ahead of you by teaching them theory about success and not actually applying the theory yourself, then that's just textbook leadership. That's travel agent leadership. That's not tour guide leadership. Leaders are not travel agents. We don't sit down in England talking about other countries. Leaders have come from that place. They are tour guides. They have been there. Leaders know the way, show the way, because they go the way. They are at the forefront of discomfort, and they're moving forward, and they're pioneering in those areas. I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear today. The first thing I want to tell you that I learned about pain in business, and I hope this gets grounded on the inside of you, is this: pain is necessary. Pain is necessary. And when you realize the pain is necessary, you'll start to do something. There was a crazy point in my own life, and I mean, I something had to happen to me to hit me on the head to say this. But there was a crazy point in my own life where I actually prayed for more pain. Life had got so comfortable, and I don't advise you do this, because be careful what you ask for. I actually asked for more pain. I prayed. I remember doing this in my room. I was like, God, can I have some pain? It's boring in here. I need some haters. Nobody hates me. Everybody seems to like me. Everybody's comfortable with me right now. Can I have something that will... Because I remember I went through this season of pain beyond anything you can imagine. And when you talk about pain beyond anything you can imagine, you're often talking about being disappointed in the area of love. And let me tell you, I went through pain years ago beyond anything that you could imagine. It was agonizing. It was horrible. It was heart-wrenching. And I remember in that time of pain, learning more in a very short period of time than I had ever learnt my entire life. And I realized something in that moment, because the person or people who I loved, I felt had betrayed me. And I remember something very powerful in that moment, that an enemy is better than a friend. Because an enemy will get you in a day, in a year, where friends spend decades trying to get you. An enemy is actually better than a friend. Hearing the words from people who told me, impossible, you can never do that, did something to me. Then I also realized something in that moment as well. Everyone has it, and some of you on this call have this right now. You have a sense of dread that something terrible is going to happen. Maybe you have a dread that you're going to lose it all, or that you're just not going to be able to sustain success for the rest of your life, or you just keep seeing pictures of people coming to take your bailiffs coming to take your livelihood and all this stuff. Let me tell you what happened to me. I had this sense of dread that something terrible was going to happen. It gnawed at me. It nagged at me for the longest period of time in my life. And let me tell you what happened. The exact thing that I dreaded happened. The exact thing that I was so afraid of, I actually experienced. And can I say something? When you experience the very worst that life has to offer, you have been handed a gift. Because in that moment, have you ever met people who have faced death? I mean, I've faced it many times through sicknesses. I've faced it many times. Many people don't know how ill I was as a child, how sick I always was as a child. I faced death many times as a child. I faced death many times in car accidents and crashes and things of that nature. And let me tell you something about facing death. When you stared at death, when you've looked death in the face, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. When you've been through the total worst that life has to offer, it's a weird gift. When the person you absolutely swore would transform your life, and you were so in love with each other, and you'd built castles in space with pink hippopotamuses and pink clouds, and it was just a beautiful world that you had built together. When that person devastates you, the best thing might have actually happened to you. You didn't realize it, because all of a sudden life has handed you a small gift. If you use it well, you'll succeed. I can't tell you the amount of successful people I spoke to that talk about rock bottom. For a moment, I just want to appreciate rock bottom. I just want to appreciate, I feel like I hit a bit of a rock bottom even in this time in quarantine, when the worst thing that could ever happen to you happens. Let me tell you about hitting several rock bottoms. The power of hitting a few rock bottoms is this. When you've hit a few rock bottoms like I have in life, you've been through the University of Rock Bottoms. If you don't know about rock bottoms, it's because you've never really done anything. You've always tried in life, but you've never really done something that you could face failure in. And let me tell you, when you take that risk and you hit rock bottom many times, all of a sudden the worst thing happens to you again, but you don't break like you used to. You don't even fall apart like you used to. Hang about, I'm not even suicidal like I used to be. Well, what's going on there? I'm not even losing. I used to lose my mind over something like this. Why am I not crying? And you start to wonder, am I not crying because I'm numb? Am I not crying because I'm immune? What if you're not breaking down because you're not the same person you used to be? What if a different version of you is here right now? That's not the you that used to break down, cry, throw a little pity party over yourself. What am I telling you? Pain is necessary. It builds you. It makes you stronger. It makes you tougher. What if those businesses that you failed at wasn't really failure? What if it was preparation for now? What if it was training for where you are right now? When we see it like that, we can make different choices. To the oyster, pain is necessary because it uses the pressure. It uses the absolute pain in that oyster, in that moment, to produce a pearl. The pain becomes necessary. Do you understand? When gold is underground and the pressure is being applied and it forms, or sorry, that diamond is formed through that intensity of pressure. All you bought was a hunk of dirt that went under pressure, extreme pressure, and it turned into a diamond. Now people want to pay high value for things that survived pressure. And guys, you were built, you were practically made to sustain pressure. There's nothing about you that cannot take pressure and pain. It's necessary. It's necessary that people reject you. It's necessary that people walk away from you. It's necessary that they talk about you behind your back. It's necessary that they do all these things. Let me tell you, I said it earlier, if I go into my kitchen right now, there's flour on the table, there's eggs on the table, there's sugar on the table, there's syrup on the table, there's raising flour, whatever, all on the table right there. Now, if I ate any one of those ingredients, the eggs by itself, it would be disgusting. The sugar by itself, it would be too much. The icing by itself, it would be too much. The sprinkles by itself, it does not make sense. But when you put all these things together, guys, and then you put these things in an oven, all of a sudden, all these ingredients that would have been horrible by themselves suddenly work together to make a sweet cake. Could it be that all the people that walked away from you, rejected you, badmouthed you, talked about you, the people who you tried to see, they didn't listen, you tried to share your business, they didn't want to do anything, have anything to do with it. Could it be that all of these things, this process that you're going through is working for you, but you need the pain? That's the first thing I learned about pain. Pain is necessary. So we keep talking about mental health all day long, but pain is necessary because we always talk about mental health, but we rarely talk about mental fitness. And so it's important, guys, important that you grow fitness in the midst of what's going on. Not just mental health, but fitness, and more on that in a second. The other thing is this: pain is a sign of a problem. And a problem is the door of opportunities. I'll say that again. Pain is the sign of a problem, and a problem is the door of opportunities. It's very, very simple, guys. All that pain is there to do, when I experience a pain on my leg, sudden sharp pain, that pain is there to identify to me that there is a problem. And that problem is there to identify to me that there is an opportunity that pain exists to solve. When I was sitting in my two-bedroom house in Woolwich, Arsenal, not able to afford rent of £500 a month. Sorry, I'm fidgeting around here. We should have really tightened all this up before I started. When I was not able to afford my rent of £500 a month, and I'm living in that two-bedroom house with my family, and I can't afford food or anything, let me tell you something. That pain, you can't imagine it, especially as a man. When let me tell you what a lot of people don't realize. For a long time in my life, my wife was the breadwinner of our family. Did anyone even know that? She was the one bringing home the meat and the food while I was at home. I wasn't playing PlayStation, guys. I wasn't being a waste man. I was at home working on business. But I'll tell you what, I felt like the biggest waster on the planet, because every day I'm like, hey, can I have some money? Say, hey babe, can I have some pocket money today? Can you send me something today? Can you give me a little bit of something? Every single day you're asking for some hand-me-downs or some help. I got this thing that I know it's going to succeed. If I pour some money into it, it's going to do really good. Could you give me a little bit of money? to do this, and I'm telling you it's going to succeed. I felt like such a waster in life. And every single thing I was trying in business was failing. Everything. And in that moment, let me tell you, you hear voices. Let me tell you what those voices tell you. Those voices only say one word. They go, idiot. Idiot. Nothing was working. I'd left my high-flying job to become a business person, an entrepreneur. Who the heck wants to be an entrepreneur? What an idiotic plan. Who in the world created the idea of being an entrepreneur? It's like, it's insane. Being an entrepreneur is like flying versus driving. It doesn't make sense. I would rather be on the ground than be in the air. Being an entrepreneur is like jumping out of a plane with what somebody told you was a parachute. They said, look, just trust me, it's a parachute, put it on your back, you'll be fine. And they said, it's going to be your business, it's going to catch you if you jump. It's mental. To be an entrepreneur, you have to be small crazy, like a tiny bit nuts. There has to be something in your mind, because everybody, and if you're Nigerian like I am, your parents are like, go and get a job. Why is this one? Not everybody makes it. Go, listen, I'm a lawyer. My parents say, you're a lawyer. Go and study. Go and finish your law. Blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to be in business. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to commit to a goal, a dream. Let me tell you, the pain was there. And when you're in your house and mice are crawling around you, when you get to the point that you're no longer even afraid of the mice anymore, you accept them. They can lie in your bed, fine. You even move over. You move over. You say, Tom, is it Jerry? Jerry, you could just stay there. You even move over. And the cockroaches, you allow it now. It's like normal. A cockroach crawls across your hand. It's like, when you get to a point where the fear is even gone, because you got tired of screaming at the mice and the cockroaches, and you started actually having fun and naming them after a while, and maybe torturing them because you went a bit crazy. But all of this, when you finally get tired of that, then you realize there's an opportunity here. Or you do what everyone else does. You go on benefits, universal credit. I just refused. I outright refused to go on universal credit or benefits. And I'm not slagging anyone who does. I'm not name dragging anyone who does. I refused to allow another level of comfort to keep me where I am. I refused it. I absolutely said no. I said, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. I'm going to grow through this. I'm going to grow. There are solutions in this. There are answers in this. There are things that I can do to rise up from this. Every problem is hiding solutions. Every problem. That's why if you're around me, the number one thing that I hate more than anything is the inability to provide solutions. I can't stand it. If I'm ever agitated, it's because I do not believe you've got your brain in gear for solutions. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, your mind has to be so solution orientated. It's unbelievable. You don't know what a problem is. Problems do not exist to you as an entrepreneur. Only solutions. You see problems. Pain is there to reveal a problem. The problem is there to reveal that the solutions exist. They exist. And if you're a leader in this group, you're in the lead team, you are not allowed to have problems. You have solutions. That's what you have. You have solutions. All these problems are opportunities for you to demonstrate leadership. These problems are there for you to show off what's inside of you. You've been taking notes, now take action. You know exactly what to do. When we go through problems, I relate to with this business like a battleship, and I have a great team of people who work very close with me, like Faz, Miguel, Sterling, Dennis, who's with me, other Dennis, Marlene, and Nathan, people who work very, very close with me, and Jennifer, of course. And it's like a battleship. It's like a battleship. Every day there are catapults being thrown. There are things coming to sink the business. There's this person here who says you owe us £40,000, and this one over here that says 50,000 for this. Then that bill shows up. Every single day problems. Let me tell you what we do. It's like, okay, we're going to do this. Move money from here to there. Do that, Nathan, and you sort this out. Your brain has to function. That's why I love business, because a job made me brain dead. Literally, what did I do in my job? Doop. 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 A job makes you brain dead. It's the same problem on repeat. But when you're in business, man, that thing works on you. That thing trains you. That thing develops you. Third thing I learned about pain. Pain should not be covered up. Pain should not be covered up. Very, very important. And let me tell you, I'm talking to myself as a serial cover-upper of pain. Mercutio in Romeo and Juliet gets stabbed and he says, a scratch. Only a scratch, he says. It's just a scratch, but he's dying. It's not a scratch. It's killing you. Listen, there are some things we go through they are like somebody just flicked us on the face. And if you flick me on the face, fine, I can get over it. But if you get a sledgehammer and you ram that sledgehammer through my chest, listen, I am going to feel that. I feel it. And there are sledgehammer moments in life. Let me tell you what happens in those sledgehammer moments in life. All of us become Mercutio. A scratch, I tell you. A scratch. Curse on both your households, for you have made worms meat of me. We become Mercutio in those moments, and we act like we've just been scratched, but it's killing us. And so let me talk to you about pain. Share your pain with the right people. I'll say it again. Share your pain with the right people. Not on Twitter. Please. Give us your phone. Not on Instagram. Not on, I was going to say Bebo, but it doesn't exist anymore. Ringo and MySpace, they're gone. I'm still stuck in an old era. Stop sharing your pain with the world. Ask me why. Because they don't care. They don't care. Share it with the right people. Share it with... And, oh man, someone said, I just don't have friends. This is the problem of people in pain. We isolate ourselves. No one's really isolating us. We isolate ourselves. And it's a truth. I'm not saying you have to share everything that goes on with you every single time, because sometimes that's just wrong. What I am saying is find the right people. Find friends. And if you don't have friends, become a friendly person. It's as simple as that. I don't like complicating life. But tell people, air the concerns. Don't hide them. Don't keep them. We learn this from physical wounds. When we get physically wounded, if you put a plaster on it, it starts to gangrene. It starts to get infected. It doesn't heal very well. But when we share, when we open up that area, all of a sudden, because of the oxygen, and our platelets start to react, our white blood cells start to react, and it starts to go to that area to provide a solution, to provide an answer for the pain. In the same way, we have the abilities to heal, but we cannot be concealers. Time is not the best healer. Time is the best concealer. And I promise you, I am talking to myself when I say this one. There are problems that we have to share. And I'll tell you, as a person of faith, my biggest place of sharing is God, because he's the only one who understands me, who gets me, and then I know what to share with people. And I promise you, I do not share everything with people around me. I don't know if there's a human being alive that I share my entire heart, soul, and chest. I'm talking to detail, to scary detail. I don't know that is even the wisest thing all the time to do. I think sometimes you've got to know how to keep your cards to your chest in life. The fourth thing I want to say is this: pain must be interpreted rightly. It must be interpreted rightly. That means this: if you're experiencing pain right now in your life, everybody experiences pain as interpretations. That's why both of us can go through a similar circumstance and come out with two completely different outcomes. Both of us can go through the same thing or see the same problem, like this cup. Someone says the optimist looks at the cup and says it's half full. The pessimist says the cup is half empty. The opportunist comes and drinks the cup. You see, we could all go through the same circumstances in life, but we can come out with varying outcomes. Is there a problem? No, I'm good. I got enough water. I'm good. Thank you. There's more than enough. Thank you. We can all go through similar circumstances and come out with varying outcomes. And so you've got to have the right interpretation. Could it be that your life is not going down and things are not going terrible for you and you're not failing? Could it be that you're becoming tougher, stronger, greater? Could it be actually that you're not a bad salesperson? Could it be that you're a salesperson who is perfecting their skill, their craft through what's going on? See, because if your interpretation of life and pain is wrong, you only make the pain worse. This is why, by the way, I hate when people talk to me in hyperbole. Again, the people who know me are probably nodding their heads right now. I hate when people come to me and say, lots of people are saying, many people are saying, oh, I've been speaking to loads of people and they just think that things are just not going very well. And I say, look, when you say loads of people, can you please quantify the number? Can you tell me what loads of people is? And then by the time I hear it, it's like two people. Two people. And human beings do this, by the way. We exacerbate issues. We make them worse than they are. We rarely say an issue as it is. We often make issues worse than they are. And can I say this? The same is true of your life. It's not as bad as you're making it. It's not as bad as you think it is. Your life is actually better. And I'm going to tell you how to turn this around in my last point. I'm going through them in order of the least to the greatest. But your life is actually not as bad as you think it is. You're in a very, very good place in life. You just don't realize how good you've got it. Oh, but you know what I'm saying? I just lost my job. You are in a great place. A great place. You just may not realize how good a place you're in. Oh, you don't realize I just got divorced. You are in a great place. You just don't realize how great the place is that you're in yet. Oh, but you don't know I'm sick. I could do this all day. You're in a great place. You're in a great place. You just need to learn how to turn your excuses into your reasons. You need to learn how to turn. I mean, I can't remember this woman's name from Big Brother back in the day, but she went through cancer and she used it. She used it as an opportunity to generate awareness around the world and transform people's lives. What you are experiencing right now is a gift. What you do with the gift of pain and the gift of discomfort becomes the blessing that the world around you experiences. Pain must be interpreted rightly. When an eagle sees wind, it looks at it different from how a sparrow sees it. See, when a sparrow sees wind, the sparrow sees the wind as the reason to go down. When the eagle sees opposing wind, the eagle sees the wind as the reason and as the momentum it needs to rise to a higher height. See, what are you interpreting what happens to you as? Is this the opportunity to go higher, to be stronger, to be greater, to be better, to be wiser, to be smarter? Or is this the time that you're just going to, well, meh, life is terrible and horrible, and you're just going to interpret life in a way that's going to condescend and cause you to RTO and go back to your origin? The next thing, because of time, I'm rushing through my points and I'm on point 5 of 10, so I'm going to rush through this. The next thing is this: pain is there to define your focus. Pain is there to define your focus, to refine your focus. When I am in pain, it's either I focus on the pain or I focus on the solution that can heal and that can fix the pain that I'm experiencing. And so often in life, we focus too much. We build our lives and center our existence around what we're going through. And we rehearse and rehearse. See, when I say open your pain, I don't mean rehearse it. I don't mean keep telling everybody you meet about what's just going on and how terrible your life is. If you even heard yourself, have you ever heard yourself years later, heard your own voice and thought, ugh, what a horrible person? This will tell you why people may be avoiding your calls. Because have you got people on your phone book that you ignore their calls? Be honest. They may even be on this chat right now. People who you just avoid the messages and the calls because it's such a whine fest. It's such a, oh, nobody knows the trouble I feel. Nobody knows my sorrow. And I know I told you expose your pain, and it sounds like I'm now saying conceal it. No, expose it to the right people. Find a therapist. Find somebody who can help you walk through that pain. Find somebody professional to help you walk through that pain. But don't rehearse it with everybody you meet, because rehearsal is only practice for the real thing. So if you keep rehearsing it, it's about to get real. Have you ever just rehearsed something so much or warned somebody about pain you went through before and then it happened again? Because rehearsing something doesn't work. It's actually counterintuitive. Pain should define focus. Listen, if you're in business here, your pain should define your focus. Your pain should define the thing that you are working to achieve. Your pain should define your out. Your pain is there to tell you that, you see, pain is vision inverted. I'll say that again. Pain is vision inverted. Pain is success inverted. Pain is vision inverted. That's all it is. Pain is hope inverted. That means if you've got pain, you've got a displeasure, and that displeasure is desire inverted. The displeasure is the sign that your desire exists. Oh, let me say that joker again. The displeasure is the sign that your desire exists. Otherwise, you would not be displeased. The displeasure is the sign. When you go to your bank account and you're displeased, it's the sign that your desire exists. But you keep, I don't know what just appeared on the screen, excuse me, but you may keep disqualifying yourself from your desire. You may keep disqualifying yourself from your outcome, from what you want. The displeasure, guys, is the sign that the desire exists, that the desired outcome that you're trying to achieve exists. That's what I realized those years ago when I was trying to trade and it wasn't working because I was using everybody's systems. The displeasure was the sign that desire exists. So I've got to define the desired outcome. I've got to define the desired outcome. Don't like your house? Leave. Don't like your country? Move. Stop complaining about things you're tolerating. I'll say it again. Stop complaining about things you are tolerating. The displeasure is the sign that the desire exists, so you've got to write the desire. That's what vision is. A vision is the desired outcome. A vision is the desired outcome. And when you have the vision or the promise only requires persistence and patience to achieve it. That means as long as you persist in your journey towards the promise, as long as you persist and you are patient, you will achieve the desired outcome. But if you don't persist, you'll give up halfway through. It reminds me of the story of a I think it was a true story. I can't remember what team this guy supported, but he was going to kill himself, and so he made a little deal because he just thought, could life get any worse? He decided to go cheer himself up by watching his football team play. True story. His football team was losing. I believe they were losing. It was by halftime. It was 3-0. 3-0. And so he went in halftime because his football team didn't win. In halftime, he went and killed himself. He comes back. I mean, he didn't come back, obviously. He killed himself, sorry. In halftime, he kills himself because his team didn't win. And he wrote it on some note. When the police found the note after the football game, his team had won 4-3. 4-3. See, sometimes you don't wait long enough. Sometimes you're not determined to outlive your fear. Sometimes the issue is you're not determined to outlast your pain. Because let me tell you a secret about pain. It soon gives up. Let me tell you a secret about fear. It soon gives up. Let me tell you a secret I've learned about fear. If you dance with it long enough, it can't dance as long as you can. It can't dance as long as you can. It's not actually as strong as your passion to overcome it. I've realized that I used to think fear would never give up. And then I realized there comes a point, maybe you public speaking, and you hate public speaking, you dread it. Dance with it. Dance with it. Maybe it's selling and you fear it. And you guys in this business, you have procrastinated and procrastinated. You have an income supply that is unlimited. I am nailing you right now. Nailing you. You have procrastinated. You blamed other things. You said it's because we don't have the fund. You said it's because we don't. You ungrateful so and so. You have everything you need to succeed. You have a mentor. You have groups. You still keep talking about we need more groups. We need this. We need that. You have more than I had when I began this business. You have so much more. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. You have wellness people. You have customer service. You have so much provided for you. So much available to you. All it needs is focus, commitment to your why. You're not committed. You haven't focused yet. You're still sitting with your pain and not realizing the pain is there to make you aware that there's a promise. And if you can focus on the promise and the process and you can persist. You see, somebody said the secret to success is not giving up. That's not true, because there's a lot of people who don't give up. That just makes them stubborn. That's all they are. I cannot give up and not become successful. Not giving up is not the secret to being successful. Not giving up is the secret to being passive. That's all it is. It just means I'm neither going back nor am I going forward. Being persistent, that means pushing against the grain of every downhill thing in your life, because success is an uphill journey and you must commit. You must. I'm talking to those of you who are in the lid. You must commit. You must commit. You can't be like half in, half out. Today I'm here, tomorrow I'm not. You've got to commit. Oh, but you don't understand. It's scary posting analysis in the group when there's so many professionals. Grow up. Grow up, man up, woman up. Take your man up pills and your woman up pills. Swallow them with some water. Toughen up, guys. Come on. The whole world can't be wrapped in bubble wrap for you. You've got to get stuck in. Be hard on yourself. That's my next point. Stop being so easy on yourself. That's why you're where you are. You're too kind to yourself. You're way too kind to yourself. You don't know how to crack a whip on your own back and say, we're not doing good enough, dude. Come on, girl. Come on, guy. Pick yourself up. You don't know how to look at yourself in the mirror and coach yourself and say to yourself, I can do so much more. Get over who's hurt. Oh, yeah. I had to say to myself several times through today, get over it, Toby. Get over it. Get over that. It happened. Okay. Yeah, they left. Fine. Get over it. Get over it. Move on. That's the self-talk I'm having to have with myself in every day. So when people see me on these calls and see me smiling, they don't know the crying that's going on. They don't know the pain. People assume that I'm finding business building easy. It's tumultuous. That's why we get paid the way we get paid. Yesterday, when I looked and I saw yesterday I'd made £34,000, I said, well, you deserve that. Listen. You deserve £34,000 because of the pain you're going through. Because this journey in business means you have to overcome certain pain to get there. And the thing about the job is a job pays you, a business rewards you. Let me say it again. A job pays you, a business rewards you. Are you hearing me? A job pays you, a business rewards you. Sometimes I just think if you knew where you were, you would play harder, you would work harder, you would move faster. A job pays you, a business rewards you. Get stuck in. Be hard on yourself was my next point. I'm going to rush through my next one. Turn your pain into a plan. Turn your pain into a plan and turn your plan into performance. Turn your pain into a plan and turn your plan into performance. Turn your pain into a plan. That means now I've got the vision, plan it. Plan it. And if tomorrow you did nothing, plan again. If tomorrow you did nothing, plan again. If today you did nothing, it's because you do not have a clear focus. You don't have a clear plan. Or you have a plan, but it's not in front of you. Write down what you plan and intend to do. A plan is a schedule of actions. And nothing happens if you do not schedule actions. I'm not talking about scheduling thoughts. A plan is a schedule of actions. It means I am going to use the pain to perform. I'm going to use this pain to schedule some actions that is going to get me out of the place of pain. Because you'll be shocked how many people make their home in pain. You'll be shocked how many people believe they deserve where they are right now. You'll be shocked how many people, if we tried to take your pain away, you would be so upset. You would be so angry. You'll be shocked how many of you would be so upset if I tried. Have you ever tried to counsel somebody and help them? And the more you try to help them, the more they fought with you because they're so angry that you're taking their pain. Because if I take your pain, I'm taking your excuses. If I take your pain, I'm taking your excuses. And many of you don't even want to be on this call right now. I can see you. You got Netflix playing while you're watching this. I can see you soothing yourself. You're on your phone, on Instagram, whilst you're watching this. Because you don't want me to take away your excuses. You're annoyed with me right now. I can see you. You're upset with the way I'm talking. You're like, why do you have to shout like that? Why is he talking like that? I'm talking to you. Yes, I'm prodding your wound right now. Don't worry, I washed my hands before I did it. But I'm prodding your wounds right now. And I'm saying, listen, you're upset with me because I'm taking away all the excuses you've had. You've been like, well, we don't have the fund. And they promised us the fund. And now because we don't have the fund, that's why we're not succeeding. And well, they didn't give us signals. And now because we don't have signals, that's why we're not succeeding. Oh my goodness, they didn't get over yourself. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. Be hard on yourself and learn to grow. Learn to grow. I'm going through quite a bit right now emotionally in my own heart and my head, and things are going on with me that I couldn't even begin to explain to a lot of people. But if you come to my house, I'm not in a corner sitting down, rocking backward and forward. I'm moving. I'm moving because science taught me that everything that moves is alive. I'm moving. I can't sit still. If I sit still, I'll convince myself I'm dead. I'm not dead. I'm not down. It's not over for me. No way. Whoever thought they were going to put a nail in my coffin, they can get lost. I was going to say something worse, but they can find somewhere where the sun doesn't shine to go to. But listen, I'm not dead. I'm not rolling over. I'm not finished. Please. I'm just getting started. I've just begun. I've just begun. I'm just turning a new page. It's not over. I'm just beginning. I'm just beginning. Don't worry, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Number 7, every day rehearse the outcome. I said about rehearsing pain, rehearse the outcome. That means this, every day have a time in your day where you play some soft music and imagine. I can't stress how powerful enough this is. When I get a camera and I take a picture, back in there you have these all cameras, you take a picture, that camera will take a picture, and in a dark room, that picture would start to develop. There are things that you need to develop in your life, and all this technology is really a picture of who we are. You take a picture of the future you expect. You imagine it. You surround yourself with images that remind you of the future you expect. And you spend 10, 15 minutes a day walking through the corridors of your Fortune 500 company. Sitting down in your chair, talking to your board of directors. You imagine yourself talking to thousands of business partners, sharing with them as you travel the world on planes and private jets, moving to and fro. You imagine yourself going to third world nations and building infrastructure and creating and lending to nations. You picture yourself doing these things, and you rehearse. Instead of rehearsing your dread, rehearse your hope. Instead of rehearsing your fear, rehearse your faith. Instead of reversing your torment, rehearse your future. You start picturing your desired outcome till it's so clear that it compels you. You will be shocked how life starts to gravitate to the hope and the expectations that you have on the inside. You will be shocked who shows up on your phone book, because suddenly you're thinking at a frequency that they think at, and now they're calling you and they're connecting with you, and suddenly on your phone book millionaires are there, where it used to be people talking about, there's not enough money in this world, maybe we should vote Labour next time instead of Conservative. Now you don't even have those conversations anymore. You're talking with people about, hey, should we move 2.5 million to the account in Cayman, or should we move it to the one in Dubai? Which account should we move it to? And when you okay, it's going to cost $1 billion for that project, fine, I'll talk to my board of directors right now amongst us, we'll start rating. That's the conversations you start having. It's a different game now. Okay, let me land this plane. Because it's still high in the sky. The next one I want to give you is here. I got two more, and then I'll get out of your way. And I've already expressed this one. The next one I want to say is build yourself. Build yourself. Build yourself. Refuse to be the same version of yourself yesterday. I'm shocked at my rate of recovery. I'm shocked now at how many things tried to knock me down and how I bounce back up. Before, the things that used to take me a month, 6 months, a year, 3 years to bounce back up from, are now taking me a week to bounce back, a day to bounce back, because I'm not who I used to be. I'm more built. If I punch McGregor in the stomach, if I deal a blow to Mike Tyson right now and hit him hard, he is less likely to be injured than you or I. Why? Because he has conditioned himself. We can keep talking about mental health till the cats come home, but the conversation needs to shift now to mental fitness, and we might actually need to develop a sense of fitness in our own lives, in our mentality. I'm just seeing messages coming through left, right, and center. But we might have to actually start developing a sense of mental fitness, mental fortitude, mental strength. We might actually have to start building ourselves instead of waiting for people to build us. Instead of waiting, CEO clubs are great, guys, but I'm not always going to be there. When are you going to look yourself in the mirror and say, you were made for more? You're greater than your acting. You are the number one in your field. You were made for the top. You see people in private jets, that's you. You're the number one. You're a six-figure earner. You're a Fortune 500 company owner. You're on Times Forbes list. You're on the Times list. Listen, world, here I come. I'm big and I'm ready and I'm bossy. I'm rambunctious. I'm ready to move. I am unapologetic. I am CEO. When are you going to start building yourself instead of looking at your circumstances every day as your source of information? When are you going to find something in you? When you're going to look at yourself and say, I was packaged, I was put together. Listen, I've come to realize something in my own life. There's more to life than this world. I was packaged in heaven, and I was born in heaven, made in heaven, packaged in Nigeria, dispatched in the United Kingdom. That's all. I was born rich. It's not money. It's the quality of potential that's on the inside of me. The problem is, whatever you focus on, you empower. So if you keep focusing on the wrong things, CEOs, if you keep looking at what you don't have, it will be to the detriment of what you do have. If you keep looking at the fact that you can't speak, you'll miss the fact that you bake cakes better than anybody in your neighborhood knows how to bake cakes. If you keep looking at the fact that you can't sing, you'll miss the fact that you can sing well, that you can speak well, or that you can communicate well. If you keep missing the fact that you can't close a deal, you'll miss the fact that you're actually a great networker. If you can't see the qualities that are on the inside of you, and build your strengths. Build your strengths. The problem with heartbreak is you keep thinking when they left, you left with them. You keep thinking when they left that they took the best part of you. The best part of you is still in you. Listen, you're a salamander. When they cut your tail, you grow another one back. You're different. You're built like that. They've taken some dead piece with them. Let them have that dead piece. You're growing back stronger. Listen, when they cut your hair's growing stronger. When they took something off of you, you're just coming back greater. That's all that is. You're getting ready for a comeback. So guys, I hope that this is helping you. Build yourself. That means read books. Read books. Talk to yourself. Write notes to yourself and say, man, we're going to get this together. To this month, I'm going to have 100 people in my business. Then you'll hear your doubts. Well, you haven't even learned this. And you've got to downplay your doubts. Downplay them. Listen, you're in an opportune time. You're in the greatest season of your life. You don't realize the opportunity that you're sitting in right now, just being in the nation that is Wealth Nation. Shameless plug. You don't understand where you are right now, guys. Build yourself. Read books. Talk well about yourself. Speak yourself up. How long will you be friends with somebody who speaks to you the way you speak to yourself? Speak yourself up. Speak to yourself. Tell yourself something that you ought to know. Tell yourself, today is my day. This is the week. This is the month. This is the hour. This is the time I'm going to do what I dared not do before. I'm going to boldly go where no one has gone before. And then my final point, guys, my final point is my most important. Let me drink water for this one. My final point is my last one. Are you ready for this one? This is my most important one. And I hope if you listen to nothing else I said, listen to this point. Be grateful. The amount of things people have lost in life because of ingratitude. The amount of people we've lost because we weren't grateful. The amount of opportunities we've lost because we were not grateful. One of the greatest tragedies of mankind is their propensity to ingratitude, their swiftness to amnesia, how quickly we forget good things, Man, I sometimes look and wonder at my own business. I sit with Dennis, both Dennises. I sit with Nathan, I sit with my team. They work round the clock. I'm telling you right now, Dennis Mack, he's not sleeping. He's building, he's coding, he's doing all this stuff. I said to Dennis, because Dennis gets all these complaints all the time. Oh, this isn't working, that's not working, this isn't. I said to Dennis, I said, man, I feel sorry for you. I said, the problem with us is we're shallow. You may have saved our entire business, and Dennis did, by the code you wrote. But no one cares about the code because they don't see it. They don't care. They don't see it. But if you put something fancy on the website that they see, they'll be like, well done, woo, until the next thing they find to complain about. And I found this journey to getting people to financial freedom has felt like a miniature version of Moses leading these slaves who complain about the tiniest things. And they don't realize they are in a beautiful place. And listen, I don't mind criticism, constructive criticism. See, the difference between criticism and complaining is the attitude behind it. The attitude. If the attitude is ungrateful, more businesses have been destroyed by ingratitude than anything else. More opportunities have been lost by ingratitude than anything else. There are men who did this. They went to countries and they swiped the air and closed the lid and sold cans of air for £100,000. But you can't sell a functioning product. Functioning product. They sold air. They were grateful for air, so they swiped it in there, closed it, and sold it on eBay for £100,000. These guys are multi-millionaires today. Ingratitude has killed many destinies. Many dreams have died because people refuse to be grateful. Many great friendships have been lost because of ingratitude. Many of the greatest connections of your life lost because you were not grateful. You weren't grateful. Ungrateful people can feel like giving gold to pigs. When you sow a great thing into an ungrateful atmosphere, the great thing diminishes in its returns. Ask yourself this question. If I chose to be grateful, what could I choose to be grateful for? You know, a man once was watching a man who thanked God for everything. He thanked God for being alive. He thanked God for his shoes. He thanked God for his fingernails. This young man was so irritated by how grateful this man was for life. And he says to him, one day he watches this man and a bird poos on his head. Bird just poos all over his head. And while this bird is pooing from this tree he's sitting under, the man goes, "Thank you. Thank you." Poo dripping down his face. "Thank you." And the young man said, "What in the world are you being grateful for?" He said, "I'm grateful that elephants can't fly." Listen, there is always something to be grateful for. It's easy to complain about having no shoes until you meet the man who has no feet. It's easy to complain about having no job till you meet the person who's lost their mind, so they're not even employable. It's easy to complain about having no money till you meet the person who has a government that refuses to allow them to even access money. It's easy to complain about being a woman, and therefore we are in a culture of complaint Olympics, victim Olympics, ungrateful swine-like culture where they've got so much gold around them, so much gold they've become spoiled. Yet if you have a bed and a TV, you are more wealthy than a third of the world's population. A bed and a TV, a roof over your head. If you're not grateful for where you are, life will not reveal where you're meant to be. Because where you're meant to be is where you are right now. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? The secret to where you want to be is where you are right now. If you're ungrateful for this step, you cannot use this step to get to the next step. The secret to your greatness is what you have something right now that's going to release everything you've ever wanted, but you're ungrateful for it. And I often share it as this story, and I'll close on this story. Let's say it's a fake story I'm making up here, but let's say I really want to impress this girl, my wife, at the prom. I want to impress her. I want to pick her up for the prom. She's my girlfriend at the time, and I just want to really impress her. Her dad is upset that I'm going to. He has to release her to the prom, but she says, "Okay, I'll go to the prom with you as long as you do one thing." She says, "As long as you bring me, I don't know what flowers are really expensive and famous. Give me an expensive brand. If you don't, I'll just say roses. As long as you bring me these, I'll say Albanian roses. Let's just add an adjective. Unless you bring me Albanian roses, I will not go to the prom with you." And so I do something. I show up to her house. I'm wearing a beautiful three-piece suit. There's a limousine outside that's pulled up. I don't honk, no, because I'm a gentleman. I knock on the door. I hold my hand behind my back. I'm holding my hand behind my back. She opens the door. It's her dad. He rolls his eyes back because I actually showed up. He says, "He's here." Down the stairs comes this vision of a woman. She's wearing this gown that's just gorgeous, but her eyes are glassy because she knows I'm holding something behind my hands. Could it be the Albanian roses? Could I have gone to that extent? To that extent? that I actually went and got exactly what she wanted. Her eyes are glassy. They are green with expectation. And suddenly from behind my back, I pull out my hand. And in my hand there are seeds. She looks at the seeds. She looks at my face. She looks at the seed. She looks at my face. She looks at the seed. She looks at my face. She's trying to discover which one to slap first. She decides to slap my face. And in so doing, the seeds flick out of my hand onto the floor. She slams the door. Her dad said, "I told you he was a loser." She runs upstairs with Haagen-Dazs ice cream from the fridge. She sits down in her living room, in her bedroom, watching Titanic, eating ice cream week after week. She refused to go to the prom. She's just so sad. She's now playing Backstreet Boys and Boys to Men. And she is crying in her room week after week. Her dad's like, "Are you going to go to school?" She's like, "No, not today, not today." She's crying. Heartbreak. 3 weeks pass. She opens the door to her house. And on the garden floor, there are Albanian roses growing through the ground. She realizes something in that moment. I gave her what she always wanted. I just didn't give it to her in the form that she expected. And let me tell you something about life. If you're not grateful, this is what you got to learn about life. Life will always give you what you want. It just will not give it to you in the form that you expect it. And if you're not grateful for the form, you'll miss the transformation when it happens. If you're not grateful, you guys in Wealth Nation, if you're not grateful for this business, if you're not grateful for the time we spend slugging it out, if you're not grateful for, we need a culture in this business. We need a culture. Let me tell you the culture we need. It's got to be grateful. People are doing round-the-clock analysis for you. People are strategizing and flying out to countries to sort things out. People are doing leaflets and design work. People are up all night working on coding to make sure the data is correct. People are negotiating deals with banks and aviation and real estate and all stuff. People are creating here something for all of us to enjoy. And if we're not grateful for this, you're going to sow a dangerous seed into this business with ingratitude. Because rarely have I seen great organizations fall from outside. Rarely. They always fall from within. And the enemy gets inside when there is an attitude of ingratitude. We've got to create a culture of honor in this business, a culture of gratitude. And let me tell you something. Gratitude is the seed of more. Whatever you want more of, be grateful for. Gratitude is the seed of more. If you want a kinder wife, be grateful for small kindness. If you want a more loving husband, be grateful for even the smallest "I love you." Be so grateful. When he says "I love you," be so grateful. Let me tell you what will happen. You'll get more. You will get more. Gratitude is the seed of more. When you're grateful, whatever you are grateful for, you get more of. When you get weekly coaching and mentorship that people spend tens of thousands of pounds for, you get it for free. Gratitude is the seed of more. It's the seed. Whatever you want more of, guys, whatever you want more of, be grateful for it. Be great. Don't come into an organization finding reasons to complain. Don't bring your stink into places. Don't come into anywhere find places to contribute. And the greatest contribution you can bring is appreciation. Everything you appreciate appreciates. Oh, you need to write these jokers down. Everything you appreciate appreciates. Everything you don't appreciate diminishes in its ability to bring returns to you. Everything you don't appreciate. We need a culture of appreciation. We need a culture. When I saw the signals, guys, I saw the Safdales on signals. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I welled up with tears. I wrote that message with tears in my eyes in our chat room when I said, thank you guys so much. I think about Chido like almost all the time. He's always on my mind. Because that man sacrifices so much for this business. I'll tell you, I think about the guy behind our camera right now, Dennis, all the time. I'm always thinking, what can I do for him? What can I do? What can I do for these people? I think about Jennifer all the time. I think about my wife all the time. This level of sacrifice. I think about Sterling. What can I do for these guys? Miguel, Michael Rising, what can I do? I feel like I'm not doing enough all the time. Whatever you appreciate, appreciates. Whatever you don't appreciate diminishes in its ability to bring returns to you. Ingratitude is the #1 reason for depression and pain. Biggest reason. There is pain that happens to us, and then there's pain that stirs up from within us. That pain that stirs up from within us is dangerous. The pain outside is fine. I can handle the storms outside. The problem is when the storm gets inside the boat, then I shipwreck. That one inside is your own ingratitude. Oh, the group is always pinging off. I can't stand it. Huh? Sorry? What? The group is pinging off with successful, positive people who are trying to help you make more money? I apologize. I'm so sorry. Go back to EastEnders. I'm so sorry to disturb your Netflix.
That's good.
I just grow up. You can't be a CEO and a baby at the same time. Choose. I'm Tobi Arayomi, and this concludes my TED Talk. I hope you enjoyed this session. Let's win together, guys. Let's do it big. Let's do it in unity. Let's do it powerfully. Watch the CEO Club back over and over and over again, even if it annoys you. Watch it till it's inside you. And please, guys, don't just take notes. Take action. Catch up with you soon.